Hey traders, checking out of the stock market today, finally getting the tops of the bounces being set in many names with daily consolidation underway. So now we scout daily higher lows in many places. I'll tell you the top places where I'm looking to buy the next dip. So the S&P 500 rejecting from daily EMA 12 on the bounce. We could not break the high of yesterday this morning, and then we rolled over and broke the low of yesterday, and we now have an hourly downtrend. Did get a little bit bouncy at the end of the day, but it was essentially an hourly bounce trying to take place. We dropped to a new low of the day, and then we had a solid bounce. I believe Biden is talking, addressing the State of the Union, so I have to keep an eye out on that for any potential futures market reactions. So essentially, to keep it simple, daily lower high is set, and now for all individual names and sectors, anyone that has this kind of setup, and that's most of them, we are watching what is the retracement size on this consolidation. Alt F to measure. Right now we can see SPY is about a 40% retracement. What does volume look like? Is volume increasing or decreasing? We don't have much information on that yet. And we're watching the hourly trend. Do we see hourly oversold conditions? If we do, bulls really want those hourly oversold conditions to mark our daily higher low. If we see an hourly oversold bounce that then results in a lower low, that's a red flag for me. If we're going to change the daily trend and show strength, we need an hourly oversold bounce to mark the daily higher low. And in the live stream I just did, I gave the analogy where, you know, it's anybody's game as far as the short-term range that we're in the last 4 days, whether or not the bulls can form a daily higher low and change the trend. I said it's anybody's game, but the bears have the home field advantage because they've got the trend, and the bulls are the underdog because of the prevailing trend. So bulls can certainly form a daily higher low and change this trend, but it's up to them to prove it. They've got to prove the world wrong as they are the underdog. So we're watching the hourly trend. Bulls need an hourly trend change back in their favor for the first indication that a daily higher low is shaping up. So tomorrow's a pretty important day. Could our daily higher low already be set? It's possible, but we need a lot of proving. There's no indication that that's taking place. So every day for the rest of the week, 3 more trading days, watching for signs that bulls are shaping up the daily higher low. I was looking bearish today, and most of my trades were bearish. We'll go over those in just a moment. But I know that I'm scouting daily higher low bullish entries. And I will tell you as we work through this list, the names that I am looking for those entries on. QQQ, same deal. Daily lower high is set at 348.54. Anything above 318.26 is a daily higher low. Consolidation is minimal at this point. If we see a big red day tomorrow, it'll be notable. But, you know, if we break the low of today tomorrow and don't see much follow through, we're still going to be scouting that daily higher low. And we have to see the bulls prove it by getting over EMA resistance, confirming the daily trend change. Keeping in mind, it's just one time frame at a time. If we confirm the daily trend change to the QQQ bulls, we zoom out and we scout a weekly lower high. And then we need a weekly trend change. So it takes a while. You know, when you have trends on multiple time frames, it takes a while to change those trends back in your favor. SMH has a bearish correlation with QQQ. Why can I say that? Because the pullback today was more notable. The retracement is more significant at this point. And those are the true reasons. So we would need to see the bulls hold 246.76 and break 270.86 to confirm a daily trend change and to have confidence that this double bottom can hold. If we can't change the daily trend, that double bottom's not going to hold. We're going to fall through it eventually. Hourly trend change back to the bulls needed. And a lot of names, you can see right here on SMH, a lot of space for an hourly lower high to be the result of the next bounce. There are 3 ways to be making entries for daily higher lows. Aggressive bulls are scouting hourly oversold conditions, and they're just going to scale in. Patient bulls are waiting for an hourly bounce that is big enough. They missed the bounce, but it's big enough for them to say, that's either our daily higher low or I'm wrong. And I'm going to enter on the hourly consolidation, maybe a couple orders, and I'm going to stop out if that level breaks, because that will not be our daily higher low if it breaks, and I'll be wrong. And if it holds, and I don't stop out, we confirm the hourly trend change, and the daily higher low is set. An even more patient bull is going to wait for an hourly trend change to confirm, and then use that daily low, but risk reward is a lot less favorable if you're waiting that long. So the middle, you know, you got the middle of the road way to go is waiting for an hourly bounce and missing it. Again, you don't need to nail that hourly bounce. You're in it for the daily move. So you then look for the hourly higher low. And again, this refers to Tons of individual names and sectors, not just SMH, just using that as an example. Tesla. Tesla had a great top fish for bears first thing this morning. Rejected from the high of yesterday to the dollar pretty much, and then dropped down multiple percent. So we ended up then with a falling wedge explosion to a new high of the day. But at that point, bears should be risk-free because of the amount of follow-through they saw. And I didn't catch this falling wedge. I like falling wedges, but I was not watching this one closely enough to take advantage of that bull break. And again, I just had a bear mindset today, knowing daily consolidation is inevitable, scouting for positioning on that daily consolidation. XLV. Sweetie Pants is the one who opens the doors. It's not a ghost. So XLV is lacking clarity for me in the short term. Daily inside bar, we break resistance, we break support. And again, XLV very rarely tells me anything that I need to know. Yes, it's an important sector for the broader market, but it's usually in the middle of the road between QQQ and XLF. So if it's doing something drastically different, I pay attention. But really, with my analysis, I look at QQQ, I look at XLF, I look at SPY, and XLV, I pull up this chart and say, okay, not much, move on. So XLF stood out as a lead bear yesterday, and boy, did it follow through today. Daily lower high very convincingly set at 39.20, and we tested the fear low of 36.80. And that's now a triple bottom, 36.82, 36.80, and 36.85. We're just going to be looking for an hourly lower high to be the result of the next bounce, which started into the end of the day. So again, if we open higher tomorrow, we're just looking for the hourly lower high. And the names that correlate to the financial sector smashed. Airliners, jets absolutely crushed the last few days. It had a 2-day bounce. And since the top of that bounce has been set, we pulled back over 9%. You look at the individual airliners, big pullback, cruise liners, CCL, huge pullback, testing the low of last Thursday. Not many names are testing the low of last Thursday, aside from our lead bears, and it's XLF and the sectors that correlate to XLF. Usually, XLE correlates to XLF, but oil has broken away in response to the Ukraine situation, and oil is definitely keeping the energy sector real strong, as the energy sector just confirmed the weekly bull flag. IWM, daily consolidation underway, lower high set at 204.60. Can the bulls confirm the daily trend change to make this double bottom more convincing? It's the question we're going to be asking the next couple days. Where is the daily high or low? Can bulls form it? And again, you look back at the last bounce, it's so similar on a lot of individual names. 3-day big bounce, couple day pullback for higher low. You want to go back, do your homework. What does a trend change look like? What did it look like last time? What did the hourly trend change look like when the daily higher low was established? Because it's such a similar 3-day bounce, pullback for a few days to a higher low, confirmed trend change. Granted, that confirmed trend change was just a weekly lower high, but it's a nice template to look at as a guide. What was the retracement size last time that resulted in the trend change to the bulls? Retracement of about 55%. At this point, it's it's more than that. At this point, it's about 40% or so. If we see another red day, that will get us down to roughly last time. Still possible for the trend change, even if we get another red day. Growth names showed us some strength. So again, when I look at IWM, I know that one of its largest holdings are in the financial sector. So if the financial sector is crushed, and at one point today, XLF was down 4%. If the financial sector is crushed, then what? Lost my train of thought. If the financial sector is crushed, it weighs on IWM. But if IWM is holding on better than the financial sector, I know it was growth names helping IWM hold up better. So looking at ARK held the low of yesterday and has not started daily consolidation yet. It's a daily inside bar. So daily consolidation can definitely start tomorrow, but it held up better today. Solar sector is still on fire. Look at that volume. TAN is just exploding off the low. This is one of the names where I'm scouting a daily high or low. Tons of space for it to form. A very notable sentiment shift taking place for the first time in months in this sector. So I'm scouting TAN for a daily high or low. I'm scouting Tesla for a daily higher low due to the size of its bounce. Those are the two names that we've gone over so far that I'm watching. And again, I'm watching for an hourly oversold bounce. My style, I love oversold bounces. So if you give me hourly oversold conditions, my ideal trade would be hourly oversold, 15-minute, 5-minute, all oversold. I start scaling in a couple entries. The 5-minute bounce gets going, and I exit a partial enough position to put my stop under that low. And then ideally, the hourly bounce gets going. I stay in my risk-free position that is then trying to be my swing trade position. And I have to sit through a 5-minute trend change and a 15-minute trend change. Then I need an hourly trend change before it starts to shape up. That might be the daily high or low. So I play the oversold bounce, needing the hourly RSI to be oversold. And I position myself by selling partial in some profit to be, again, my day trading position size is larger than swing trading because I'm in complete control. There's no gaps, no nothing. So I can go larger and I'm more comfortable doing so. And then I scale out and that brings me down to my swing sized position. And so what I try and do is get myself in a very low risk swing size position to then try and let that daily high or low play out. So Tesla and TAN on watch for that. That volume is just very notable. You look at the last 2 days of volume in TAN, it's the highest 2-day volume aside from the top in October, really looking past the last year. So that's very notable to me. Volume climaxes often mark tops and bottoms. It certainly marked a top back there in October. Bulls are hoping it marks a bottom down here. Is this a 6-month higher low on TAN forming? Maybe, but we need a daily trend change as step number 1. Biotech sector, double top with the high of yesterday. Beautiful top fishing play. And we broke the low of yesterday, but only by 5 pennies. Pretty much double top, double bottom with yesterday's range. So this is the kind of scenario where, when I'm live streaming and answering questions, it's very hard for me to trade the first 15 minutes. I'm just too distracted. When I'm not live streaming, I'm only looking at 2 charts, the individual name, the individual sector, or the broader market, and I've got my orders filled out, and I'm not saying a word. I love silence. When I'm trading and not live streaming, silence. I'm listening to the little waterfall and the birds because I get so sick of my voice. But it's just so much more focused, and I can act fast, and I can just be in the zone flow state. And it's, again, the comparison, if you're playing ping pong, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. If I'm trying to talk and explain what I'm doing while that's happening, it's a completely different thing. I'm going to screw up all over the place. So there was a beautiful top fish, and that was the trade for the morning. And I was just patient and didn't get that one. And in hindsight, I know that if I were not live streaming, I would have nailed that entry and it would have been a multiple day maker. But again, that's just the way it goes. And I am paid to live stream, so it's very easy for me to get over. But we then pulled back, held the low of the day. Nice bounce. I did attempt a top fish with this 5-minute resistance, and I stopped out. So I started the day with a very small loss, maybe, a 20% day loser. Just trying to top fish there, stopping out when we got the bull break. Then I'm recognizing, okay, I'm scouting a 15-minute lower high. This is an equilibrium setup with a very wide range. What is the indication that a 15-minute lower high is shaping up? A loss of the 2-minute uptrend. All right, I'm on the 2-minute. Looking for signs that a 15-minute lower high is being set. I see a 2-minute uptrend. And what do I see taking shape? A head and shoulders. And I nailed that entry. So my entry was literally right there where that line is. LABD for the 2-minute lower high. And then we rolled over, and I very quickly forgot about missing the morning move because that was a very worthwhile move. And then from there, recognized this was a falling wedge. I wanted to swing position. I wanted to swing LABD for a short for daily consolidation in the biotech sector. But I recognized this falling wedge, and I scaled out. I scaled out 25% here when I recognized it. And then I saw the lower high. I let this lower high play out because I anticipated we would reject from resistance again, and we need a 2-minute trend change. Then here I scaled out another 25%, another 25%, and then the bull break took place, and I was gone the last 25%. And I exited everything, and I no longer had a swing position, And then the biotech sector started showing some relative strength into the afternoon. We did drop, but I did not swing it because I was not seeing enough weakness. Pretty much this relative strength compared to the rest of the market between noon and 2 p.m. was enough for me to say, nah, I'm not going to have enough confidence to swing this bearish tonight. But it was a good day trade, and that made my day. And again, I had a little, couple other, I don't highlight all of my trades. I highlight, sometimes like I said, I stop out with a 20% loser. Most of the time, my losers are very small, which is ideal. But I also have some little winners. I played an XLF bounce for a tiny winner that's not even worth mentioning. Pretty much I just highlight the worthwhile trades that were meaningful in terms of a day maker or a day loser or more. So the biotech sector, bears have to prove more follow through. The little double bottom needs to break if the daily consolidation is going to be underway. Gold, significant bull move today, but still watching the recent high of 1974, knowing that anything under that is still just a 12-hour lower high. So it is possible that we form a tightening range. But silver's stronger, and silver is testing resistance. I'm watching silver for a cup and handle. Depends on what this consolidation looks like. But we just saw a very significant recovery. We have a rejection from 25.62. And if we 4-hour bull flag overnight into tomorrow, I'm going to be interested in SLV. And silver plays tomorrow for the potential of a 4-hour cup and handle. Because if we break 25.62, that then puts us in an area without a ton of resistance right nearby. 26, 26, 47 are the next two levels. And the bull miners had a good day today. Big green day. They're up testing their resistance of 36.07. So when I'm looking for bull plays, I'm keeping an eye out for hourly uptrends. So if the miners are in an hourly uptrend, I'm scouting hourly higher lows. So that's another name where metal miners will be on watch for daily higher lows. We're not consolidating right now. So I'm watching Tesla and solar sector closer, but I know that the next time the miners consolidate, I'll keep an eye out to see if there's an entry that I like. I was scouting for hourly oversold conditions for an entry this last consolidation, and we just didn't get there, so the trade didn't come to me. Another play that I'm going to be looking at is the Bitcoin miners. We just had earnings on MARA, non-event in terms of after-hours action, but it doesn't look like a huge bounce, but this was a huge bounce. 1950 to 27, so 35%. So I'm scouting a daily higher low. A lot of space for it to form. Bitcoin is trying to change the weekly trend bullish. It already changed the daily trend bullish. So I am scouting MARA for hourly oversold conditions. I'm scouting it for a daily higher low. And CCJ had that nice day trade. I think it was yesterday, but tons of space for a daily higher low. So the names that have shown us more strength recently and have more space for the daily higher lows are the names that I'm interested in scouting daily higher low entries on. So those are pretty much the four that I'm focusing on from here. With that said, with that swing trade mindset where I'm focusing on daily higher low attempted entries, I am also going to be playing bearish entries on hourly lower highs and definitely not just, keeping a bullish mindset. I know the names that I'm scouting a bullish entry on, but I can play short-term day trades bearish in the meantime, which is what I did today. So I hope you're well. Do good things. Appreciate you watching. And we'll see you tomorrow.
You being a good girl? That's a good girl.